Hello, today let's talk about long vowels in Japanese. You can think of them as stretching out a sound, like turning a quarter note into a half note in music. The first row shows 5 Japanese vowels. The long vowels we're discussing today are created by adding these 5 vowels to certain syllables. I'll go through each of the 5 columns one by one. Let's start with the first column, the A column. For syllables in this column, if you add another A after them, the sound gets stretched. For example, if you take A and add another A, you get 2 A's in a row, making the first A a long vowel. It sounds like this. A, A. The same goes for Ka plus A. It becomes Ka. And if you take Ma plus A, it becomes Ma. Essentially, if you say 2 A's in a row, you will get yourself a long vowel. That's the rule for the first column. Now let's move on to the second column, the E column. In this column, adding an E makes the preceding syllable a long vowel. For instance, E plus E is pronounced E, like in "いいですね." If you have ki plus E, it becomes ki. If you have shi plus E, it becomes shi, as in 寂しい. Next up, let's look at the U column. In this column, adding a U creates a long vowel. For example, ku plus U becomes ku. Su plus U is su, as in 数学. U plus U becomes U. Note that even with the smaller U from the contracted sounds, the rule still applies. For instance, 週末, 10, 留学, 牛乳. So if you see a combination like this, you need to pronounce this part longer. From the fourth column, the A column, things get a little bit different. There are 2 options here. If a syllable from the A column is followed by either A or E, the preceding sound becomes a long vowel. Let's use A as an example. If it is followed by another A, the sound is a long A. If it's followed by an E, it's still a long A, like in 映画. Not all A column syllables have both options. Some only use E. For example, ke plus E becomes ke, and se plus E becomes se, as in 先生. Ne plus E is ne, like in お姉さん. And sometimes ne plus E also works, as in 丁寧. So with A column syllables, you have to consider both possibilities. Finally, the fifth column, the O column, is similar to the A column with 2 possible cases. If it's followed by either O or U, the sound gets stretched. For example, O plus O becomes a long O, and O plus U also sounds like a long O, as in 多い, 往復. You might wonder, how do we know when to use O or U for the long sound? Well, it depends on the word. It's not something we can decide. Let's keep going. For the O column, ko plus U becomes ko, so, to, or to. Both cases exist depending on the word. Yo plus U becomes yo. The smaller one in contracted sounds follow the same rule. The preceding sound stretches. For example, 正月, 料理. Speaking of those small U and yo, it feels like we missed one. Yes, the smaller ya. If you and yo get listened by adding u, what does ya add to become a long vowel? Think about it. Ya belongs to the a colon, right? So it should be followed by a, like in ja. So far we've been talking about hiragana. What about katakana? It's actually super simple. Just add a line after syllable. No need to worry about a, u, e, o. For example, soccer, note, surfing, cooler. If writing vertically like this, the line should be vertical too. Similar to English, the list of vowels can directly affect the meaning of a word. 地図、チーズ、ビル、ビール、真珠、真珠、おばさん、おばあさん。おばあさんはどこだ? Yes, grandma lives at the top of the mountain. Incredible. She is really strong. 巨人、狂人。Give the long vowels a try yourself. 大きい、おいしい、高校、交通、10月、お兄さん、帰りましょう、ビールを飲もう。Thank you for watching. I hope today's video helps you master Japanese long vowels. See you in the next video.